Okay, so let's go into the other leg of our conversation tonight, and it's about the 774,000 job scheme by the federal government. Well, it was recently the federal government came up with the Federal Public Works Program that was meant for 774,000 Nigerians. But since the scheme was designed, there have been a series of controversies over the issue. The minister in charge, Mr. Festus Kayemo, is here to clarify some of the issues. First and foremost, Honorable Minister, give us a sense of what is happening. It was first about the controversy and the politics between the NDE and the Minister of Labor under your leadership. Then also it was the start off of the project, which was supposed to start on the 1st of November, I understand, but it didn't start on perhaps until January. Then at other time, there was an issue of the disbursement of the monies. And at some point, the beneficiaries are saying they are not getting the money. But you summoned the banks to a meeting. What was that about?
Thank you, Shewon. I'm grateful for this. Let me explain this thoroughly. Now, the program kicked off properly in January. Now, you must understand that this is the first type of social intervention scheme like this that has that kind of large number of persons to be empowered or to be engaged within a very short period of time. So we had to develop a template to execute the program. Again, the instruction of Mr. President had to be carried out to the letter. And the design of the program was that we should engage 1,000 persons per local government. Now, how could we achieve this? This is the most critical part why we had to engage banks to register the people in those local governments. The reason is that if we had said, okay, people should just bring their account numbers, bring the participants together with their existing account numbers, we would have defeated the purpose and the design of the program. Because if you had existing bank accounts and we use the existing bank accounts, it could be possible that the 1,000 persons in one local government in Imo, half of them will be residents in Lagos. They will give us the names. There's no way we would have known whether they are residents in Imo really, or whether they are residents in other parts of the country. So, in other words, the design of the program for the money to get to all the nooks and crannies of the country would have been defeated. So we now said, no, let us engage special banks, which the president approved. And we now said, within your locality, you must report to a local branch for you to be captured afresh and be given a BVN number and a special account number for this SPW. The reason is that it will be difficult to see people traveling from one part of the country to another part of the country to register just to get 20,000. So with that, with using local banks and local branches of the banks to register the people afresh and give them BVNs, we achieved almost 100% the fact that the 1,000 persons would ordinarily be resident in those local governments, which is the design of the program. So for those people questioning why did we not use existing bank account, that is the answer to that. Secondly, we also wanted to be sure that people did not bring 2, 3, 4 accounts, one person. So we insisted that BVN should be used as directed by Mr. President, so that every payment trail, I mean, not under my watch, a former prosecutor for the EFCC, I don't want to come to public office and then run a program to be, fraught with fraud. So I wanted to be sure that it was fraud-free. So I now said, look, as directed by Mr. President, everybody should be paid by BVN. And guess what? That is how we discovered perhaps possible fraud when we wanted to start payment in February, after the first month of the program. We discovered that we saw 5, 6 names on some registers on local government with one BVN. That means it is one person coming under different names. Because once you see one BVN, it belongs to one person. Those accounts belong to one person. And that was why we ordered that stop payments. We went back to the banks. Please verify each and every of these accounts. Make sure you weed out all those accounts with different BVN, with the same BVN numbers, same names with BVN. And guess what? When that was done, when they call like cleaning up the register, some 1,000 persons of local government dropped to 700. Some dropped to 600, some dropped to 800. So we now began to have gaps in the register. So for us, the integrity of this program is more important than just paying money and making people happy. If there is a balance, we will return back to the federal treasury after the program. So that is what we are seeing. So when people began to complain, it's either those are people who had problems with the BVN, people who did not know that they had to go back to the banks to register properly for them to be paid. So we now called someone the banks yesterday, all the special, about 7 of them, and we addressed all of these problems. And we brought out a press release today to say people who had different levels of problem, either poor registration, poor BVN, and all of that, to start to pay. But so far, so good. We gave account to the Nigerian people today, how many people we have paid, how much we have paid. We have paid about 7.8 billion so far. We paid about 394,000 persons. So we have achieved about 60% payment of the first tranche. The total amount has not been released to us from the central bank, from the Ministry of Finance, I mean. And these monies are not with the NDE. These monies are not with the minister. The monies are with the central bank. So the monies go straight from the central bank to the accounts of these participants. It doesn't come to anybody.
All right, Minister.
So it is the probity of the process that is making it appear tardy before some people.
All right, because a lot of people would have wondered that you probably needed to have cleared and make sure that all of these things have been sorted before you announced a kickoff, which came about 2 months late anyways. But that aside, 2,000 naira per month, a lot of people will say, oh, it's even less.
No, 20,000.
20,000, apologies. 20,000 is even less than the national minimum wage. Some of the beneficiaries are already
because it's not a regular employment.
Yeah, but, well, the living wage of an average Nigerian is still the same anyways, but they are working every day.
It's not a regular employment. It is also not for the normal working hours.
But
you earn living wage.
Yeah, but Minister, the question is that some of them are complaining.
Approved by the International Labour Organization.
But some of them are complaining. To you. Yes, I mean, the explanation to Nigerians will be...
So it is not
we give them clarity. Just a moment, Minister. If you're saying 20,000, some of them are complaining that the bank charges are already being deducted out of the 20,000.
No, we did not authorize. We did not authorize any withdrawal of bank charges. The banks agreed with us to do it free of charge. So those who are withdrawing bank charges are doing it on their own. The only thing we encourage the banks to do for people who live far away from where the bank branches are. There are some local governments in this country that don't have bank branches. We authorize them to give them, we encourage them to give them cards for maybe 500 naira, which is the maximum they can take, so that they can go to cash points within their locality instead of spending 4,000 naira to travel to the next village to withdraw their cash and come back. We said they should give them just 500 naira out of 60,000, to go and withdraw at cash points within their locality.
All right, Minister, we are out of time.
Any other charges we did not.
We're out of time, but in 30 seconds, if you can help me, Minister, because we are totally out of time. For those who are afraid that when you pay these people 20,000 per month for about 6 months or so, and the expiration of the scheme is over or comes, what then happens to them? They go back to unemployment field. So the sustainability is a big question.
Just
if you can talk to that in 30 seconds.
Two points. Quickly, there's also a template. There are already templates already for the exit strategy of the program. So many other private people are coming to, they're like off-takers. They are taking people, now they're engaging people from this program to carry out their various programs. So it's like, you know, it's like a recruitment scheme for some other sectors. The second and most important one is that in the last 3-4 weeks, the Federal Executive Council approved, as part of its broader poverty reduction strategy, that this program is going to be an annual or biannual program. And Mr. President graciously approved it. So we are going to see this program like it happened in India, like it happened in China, and other countries in the past, to be an annual program.
Honorable Minister for Labor and Productivity, Mr. Festus Kayemo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, I would do love that if you agree to come back on the program, so we have about an hour to have the conversation on this Twitter matter and human rights issue. If you can promise that you will come back, because we didn't have time, we just scratched the surface. Can you make that promise?
It is my forte. Human rights and constitutional law has been my forte. I don't run away from it. I will come and discuss it for 3 hours here if you want.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kayemo, for your time. I appreciate it. And that's our show for today. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.